That's where it's at, man.
Z4L, bro.
Yeah,
Aren't you 2-1 in the series right now?
Oh,
Or are you, what are you, like 4-1?
No,
I got one game
it's
off.
closer than that. It's closer. I think it is 2-1 because I got lucky.
I haven't
played in a week.
I'm sure you have. I haven't. I stopped playing because SWOTOR came out, but it's fine. I'm back now. Newbie, you look like a boss.
Don't I?
I sent the woman out to get me Pepsi because that Dr. Pepper looks so delicious.
Wait.
What page of that is the Messiah? Is that what page is that in the
That's
book
like
of
page
Messiah?
number 3. Send the woman out for drinks.
That's pretty early on in the book, right?
It is, because if you can't get her to go get you stuff, like, what's the use? Like, cut that chapter, like, move on.
It's like the lion and the lioness, right? The lions don't actually
The lion, let me explain exactly. I was trying to, which Simpatico knew this, too, before I was spitting some knowledge on women to the youngins, and I was saying, listen, look at the male lion. Chills all day long, right? Doesn't do any of the hunting, just relax in the shade a little bit.
And gotta beat up another lion every now and again.
Well, yeah,
that's about it. That's
about it. Ridiculous, even for me.
Yeah, that's.
I have to say.
Is it just me or is Travis's webcam awful?
Yeah, it's really.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Jax is really bad on mine, so.
Yeah, Jax. Yeah. iGrok's
going to Task Manager and.
Mine really awful too, or?
Yeah, you're pretty bad.
Let's see here, Skype.
I don't have anything open, so.
Let's try that.
Hey, Colin, what kind of hoodie are you wearing, dude? Oh, that's ridiculous.
It's a Punisher hoodie.
Oh, I was trying to figure it out. It looks familiar.
Yeah.
Let's see that bad boy in action.
Try to get a good angle.
Oh, yeah, I see it for sure, dude. I see it before.
There goes the tweet.
I like that. Nice.
Let me get on this Twitter.
That Twitter.
This is also a glass Zergstein. Got for my birthday, which was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I feel so honored, dude. With special guests.
Hey, whoa, wait a second. You need to update the graphics.
What?
You need to update the graphics, man, because we're not doing day 9 today.
I thought we were doing day 9 today.
That's okay. We're gonna.
That was in the thing earlier today.
It was. We
need
to.
You son of a bitch.
Can you just move Barcrafts up to that, and then put in the 4th panel, just put personal issues and rapid fire?
I hate you, but yeah.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we've been live for a little bit. Everyone heard about your racism.
No, yeah, we'll talk about my racism later. I wasn't aware France was a race, but that's fine. We'll get into that.
Race, man.
No, and I want to credit. Usually, I give Simpatico all the credit because, like, honestly, he started all of this back in ASCW. But I think somebody else deserves a little credit, and he's wasn't supposed to be here for this year, but he made time to do it. So, first of all, thank you to all the fans because we hit well over 100,000 downloads. We averaged 10,000 per show plus, so that was way better than we thought we'd do in season 1. Thank you all to you, big heart. But also, big thanks to Jack iGrok Dickerson, our producer, because he's the guy, really the heart and soul of the show. That puts all that show notes together for us and gets all of the content started. So Simpatico and I look like idiots when we say Brood War Herp Derp. What happened then? And we both played Brood War, so that's the worst part of it. But yeah, so big thank you to the fans and iGrok as well. iGrok, you're the best, buddy. There's a big heart to you. Simpatico, you're not bad yourself. So here we go. Stimcast, I'm not even sure which one it is, 13 or 14. All I know is it's the first one of 2012. We got special guest Nexy from MLG, the guy I was super afraid of at my first MLG event, I'm going to admit, because he's just that imposing of a force. He's got so much nerd swagger that when he walks in a room, women faint. So
yeah,
that happens. We also have Newbie McNoob on, one of the best obs in the business, which is
so I'm told
very cool to have. Of course, Travis Heasel, formerly of an esports company that we're not going to mention, and Simpatico.
What's up, yo?
Our everybody's favorite Canadian, unless Adabeezy's here. Then it's a toss-up.
Well, the thing is, both of us will say that the other one is the nicest Canadian.
Right.
It's a
you
conundrum.
you start with the whole Canadian, death tunnel of death, where it's just compliments in circles for hours. So before we bore everybody to death talking about Canada, and before I piss off a whole nother nation, because I'm good at that lately, let's move into the show notes. Main topic, that's MLG seeds. Holy shit, that's a packed list. And I'm just reading show notes here. Paid travel for top 8 from every region, and I think that's sort of like, you would think the players would be excited about that, but I think it was Huck that said, I don't care if my travel's paid for, let my team pay for that, and I want the cheddar, man. I want the cash. So it's like I say, man, you could give away free whatever and people are still going to complain. It's amazing to me. I think it's a great thing, especially because a lot of teams can't afford maybe to fly somebody out. So if they, based on results like that, right, if you've made top 8, maybe you're on a team that can't afford to get you there, it makes it that much easier so you can compete. So I think that's a wonderful thing. Myself, what do you guys think about it?
I mean, think about who that's coming from, right? That's coming from EG. They're not exactly like, we don't have money to send players to events. That's coming from EG, and they have money to send players to events.
Right.
So, if that, I'd be a lot more surprised if that came from one of the smaller teams. But I haven't heard anybody except for Huck say that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the general consensus. And I think it's probably a little bit maybe, selfish to say that because he is part of a team that can get, there. But esports hasn't gotten to a point where everybody is part of a team that can get there. So if you're an independent player as well, so that can make a huge difference.
You know what though? I like that Huck said it because it gives a little insight on like Huck's life, I guess you could say. Like, obviously he's just speaking for himself. Like, you made a great point. Like, all the other guys are going to benefit from it. But that's pretty dope that Huck can see this great announcement about all this crazy stuff that MLG's doing. He's like, fuck, I don't care about my flights, bro. I got that covered. That's pretty ridiculous. That's baller to me. I don't know.
Well, that speaks for him leaving Liquid to go to EG as well. I mean, it's pretty atypical when you think about it. Like, EG's got enough money to send 12 players all over the world 8 times in 2 weeks. Like, of course he's going to have that attitude, right? I mean, standard.
Standard. Simpatico, what do you think?
I actually was concentrating more on fixing the overlay than listening, but paid travel shouldn't be something to knock down, I guess. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want paid travel.
No, that's the only situation.
I don't know. Yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Well, you know what? You're usually more long-winded than that.
I know it's because I
have
was
a theory though. With Simpatico, it starts slow.
And
then by the time we're to rapid fire, where he only has 10 seconds, it's going to take him like a minute.
He's like,
and a half.
he's like, I have a point. Let me rant for 15 minutes.
I know.
Yeah,
and
that's.
We get it. You're a nice Canadian. Okay, we get it.
All right, so do you think the teams that would have been paying for travel, such as EG, will take the money they were going to spend on flights and hotel and put it towards something else, like upgrading his plane ticket to first class or something ridiculous?
Oh,
like, what happens to, you know what I mean?
Right now, I want to kill Nexy. No, that is a good point. I would hope so, right? They should reinvest the money. That's a good point because I'm thinking like, wow, like, well, okay, because different events, have different rules. Some fly out, some don't. Is this going to be expected now? Is that a good thing? And right, where do the teams? It's a weird precedent to sort of set.
Like, if I was as baller as Huck and I had the balls to post on Twitter, like, what's this about? I would have no problem going to Sir Scoots and be like, dude, you're putting that money toward my presidential suite. That's what I would do.
Oh my dear.
Wouldn't you? What would you do?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
All that money that you're gonna put in for travel, just get cash.
I think honestly, now that I've actually read it and I wasn't working in Photoshop to fix the overlay, honestly, I think that's actually a great thing because there's a lot of players that wouldn't have been able to come to MLG otherwise, though. Like players that deserve to be there that might not be able to be there, or that it wouldn't be financially viable.
I mean, remember, this is only they're paying for the top 8 of every region, right?
Yeah, still, but let's say, for example, like White Rock.
99% of the players we're going to be there. Right?
Not necessarily. There's going to be a bunch. Like I can see where you're coming from, where that money could be better spent in the prize pool. But
maybe I mean, I'm just looking through the results, right? And it's like maybe I think Drewby's in the top 8 for North America, and so he might get a slot. And
In Control.
In Control, EG sends all their players to every MLG.
Yeah, but this one's top 8, right?
Yeah, but my point is like all these players that we're gonna get that are going to get paid, they were gonna get paid. So it's not. I mean, they were gonna be flown out there. So it's not like this is something that's going to help out the little teams a lot. But it is nice that if the little teams have a player who's good up there, and hopefully this continues in the future, then it'll be like
it's a good gesture for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see it helping the little teams right now, just because they don't have.
You're right. They don't have anyone in the top 8 anyway, right?
Right.
But you know what? Yeah. There's a breakout every single MLG. There's one guy that breaks out.
But those guys are breaking out. They're not in the top 8.
Yeah, but do you really want to spend money and fly major to your event? No.
No. I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying like before we turn this into oh my god, this is so awesome for the little teams. It's like no,
it's really not.
Yeah.
Since we're starting to move into more big picture, think about how much that ties and locks players into the MLG.
Right. Yeah, no,
that's the definitive statement right there. Like that's the reason behind it.
If it's EG, it doesn't lock you there though. They'll just be like, all right.
Well, I mean, unless you're Stephano. Oh, never mind.
For as many times as there hasn't, like I do agree that there's other stuff that I think the money could be better spent on. That's a ton of money, man. That's actually that could afford you another 12 computers that would be purely for practice. That players can go into a little area and just practice. I don't know. You can buy 12 little laptops or something.
Sorry for speaking over you guys. I don't know how you do it.
No, this is. I mean,
we just yell.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm the quote-unquote host that's supposed to keep control, so you know that it means nothing. So just basically talk when you want, and if it gets really out of hand, I'll bang the gavel. So.
Welcome to Stimcast, where everything's made up and the points don't matter, man.
That's it. But no, go ahead. Add insights, Sir Nexy.
I was going to disagree with the point that there's money better spent there. I mean, sure, from an amateur perspective, but what makes a league successful? And I think a big part of that is what players you have playing in your tournament. And to guarantee that you're going to have these top dudes because you're paying for their flights and hotel is a major win, right? And MLG showing that they have enough money to do something like that is also a big statement. Maybe not to us, but maybe to their competitors.
Right.
That's a good point. That's an awesome point.
Of course it's a good point. It came out of my mouth.
Right, son? There's
how did you get mugged, dude?
California hasn't softened you up the whole way.
How did you get mugged? If I met you on the street, man, I think I'd be scared. Well, then again, he was a crackhead, so.
Do you see, Simpatico, do you see why I was scared of him at the
first
dude,
I can imagine. That shit yelling at you?
Fuck. And I'm the kid in the hallway, I'm the freshman in the hallway that sees the senior coming. Watch
I went like this, I said,
out of kids, knock books out of kids' hands, smashing nerds into lockers, and I'm like, oh, here come, and I'm like, maybe this guy's not. This is literally when I'm 34 years old, thinking, maybe this guy won't notice me. Maybe I'm gonna look away, and he's like, yeah, and he looks right me in the eyes. Look at you, buddy. You're new. You look excited. You're excited, aren't you? And I'm like, son of a bitch, like. Targeting right on the freshman, but man, guy's a sweetheart. So you really have nothing to worry about, Simpatico. He's all bark, no bite. Nexy is the best. Nexy, we skipped over you completely. I'm
not worth talking about.
Everybody knows who you are. So why don't you explain a little bit who you are, who you work for now, who you've worked for in the past, or who you want to work for next? I don't care. It's your forum. Introduce yourself.
I'm warning you. I've read your bio, so if you lie, I will know.
Dude, it would take me an hour to describe who I am, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Nexy. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been either running tournaments, being on camera, doing game types, or directing. Dude, I've done it all over the last 7 years. I worked for MLG for 5 years. A couple months ago, I decided I had enough of New York City, so I moved to California, and I started my job at Astro Gaming as the content coordinator. I'm really heavy into esports. I was a former pro Halo player. I've competed in Gears of War tournaments, Super Smash Brothers tournaments, Street Fighter tournaments. I just love competitive gaming. I play StarCraft every day. I may not be the best yet, but I love it. And I have a heavy hand in broadcasting, so I was a stream director for MLG for a long time. I produced a lot of StarCraft videos for MLG, and I'm a know-it-all. But deep down, I'm actually pretty deep and insightful when I want to be. At least I think I am.
You know, that personifies Nexy. I couldn't have said that better myself, I don't think. So,
Yeah.
You enjoying things at Astro?
I love it, dude. I love not only the job, but the California lifestyle. I came from a really competitive Midtown Manhattan office job in MLG, and that was fun too. That was great lifestyle there. But California is a different world, and people are a lot happier, and they don't tolerate aggression. And that's kind of the environment I want to work in, because when you don't have people breathing down your neck or trying to rip ideas off from you, not saying this ever happened at MLG, I'm just saying in general, I can perform better and kind of, you know, I'm kind of out there. And I think Astro's kind of harboring that a little bit, so I'm really happy.
Excellent. Okay, so, mind you, remember too, when we get back into this paid travel for top 8 from every region, don't forget, this is from every region. This isn't for top 8 of the tournament. You know, this is each region, and maybe we didn't explain that well enough.
Both, man. It's top 8 from every region plus the top 8 finishers from Providence 11.
Okay, well there you go. So, but I'm saying people may not realize the regions and how this is working. So we're not going to even assume that you do know. We'll just sort of explain it. You have a North American region, and that's got tons of players in it, like Tyler, Drewby, Machine, In Control, Chef, Rain, Kiwikaki, DDE.
Which is amazing. Listen to that, dude.
That's a sick lineup, dude.
Well,
Atero, you know, just tons, a lot of good players. Illusion, the 15-year-old phenom, I got to cast yesterday in the ONOG event. Amazing kid.
He plays, like, his posture when he plays, because I watched him at every event that I went to last season, he plays literally in his chair like this. I don't know, like...
Yo, he's got the gangster lean.
Him and Destiny are just like...
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, what it... I'm upright, like hunched over.
Like,
I guess I feel like playing some StarCraft today.
He's got the gangster lean, son.
Literally, he was in Marine Split Challenge, like leaned back, just like perfect every time, like hit like level like 28. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Put it down. Yeah, no, the guy's amazing. So that's America, you know, or I should say, North America, as we have Canadians in there as well. I don't want to sound like a ignorant American as I did yesterday. I know I'm getting that rep.
It's just America's hat, right?
Yeah, America's hat. They better hope we don't run out of snow or lumber. If you run out of snow or lumber, we're coming. Europe has got a lot of great players too. One of my favorites, Rhett, of course, who's an amazing player, Zerg player, and Suke, Thorazane, Grubby, who's doing better and better.
Where is Kaz?
Well, where's Stephano? Oh, that's right. He can't stay awake. Okay, so, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's
we're gonna have to talk about that at some point.
I can't wait to talk about that, because being a little bit of an outsider, I love it, dude. I think I have a different opinion. I can't wait to get. Can we just? Never mind.
No, we skip it and go right to that.
I wish we could, but no. I mean,
it'll be
whatever.
Better.
I'm still salty about it, but
you can slide into most jokes before we actually talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna?
No, I am surprised that Kaz isn't in the.
Yeah, me too. Because Kaz like Bitter said it best, man. Best Terran outside of Korea for sure.
Yeah, he could definitely go Code A at least. Code S.
Yeah, but tons of good players out of the Europe, and then there's also rounding it out Korea and Taiwan, and there's players like MMA, Bomber, Boxer. Everybody loves Boxer. Losira, Gonzi, Nest, Nada, Moon is in there. Wow, okay, Moon. That's kind of
he was at Columbus.
Yeah, it's remember these are the MLG standings. These aren't like overall standings. So like how many MLGs you've played in, I'm sure weights into that.
Well, I'm just
otherwise In Control wouldn't be.
I haven't heard much.
Well, you say that, but I'll say that for the next step.
Step. So essentially, those are your regions, right? You've got North America, Europe, and Korea, Taiwan. So MLG will be going ahead and paying for travel from top 8 from each region, from every region, rather. And so getting on to your next topic, Grok, on the list, MLG is promoting NA over pure talent. Good or bad?
Can you actually explain that a little bit first?
All right, so at least from what I can see, when I look at that, I'm like, okay, if I want to see just absolute best gamers in the world, I'm going to fly over. If I got 24 slots, I'm going to fly over 21 or 22 Koreans, a couple of Europeans, and maybe one North American. I don't think maybe. Just because that if I want to see the best players play, that's who it's going to be.
I've got a question.
Yeah, she.
Okay, it's more for Nexy. Since you got the since you have the MLG background, and since I dealt with like having a European player last season at events and stuff, how much like benefits were given to Korean players? You probably can't tell me the honest answer, but some type of know-how, since they got to play the day before the event, and then European and North American players couldn't, but they were able to. How much did it actually get paid towards to them to get there? So basically what I'm trying to say is like they're not really receiving more benefits now than they did last year.
Well, no, I mean, and how about we do it like this? Instead of me answering for MLG per se, this is my personal experience. Can we solidify that?
Yeah,
is that cool?
sure.
Do that.
Cool. I would say that me watching how MLG handles the foreigners, and I mean the Koreans, because I refuse to fucking anyway.
Okay.
I would say that there is a lot of care that you have to take for people who are visiting and don't speak the language. You have to baby them. You have to hold their hand. You can't throw them into a room of English-speaking people and expect them to keep up with the tournament. So with that, I feel like, yes, the Koreans, their hands are held. They're kind of baby step through the tournament, and some people see that as special treatment, if that's kind of what you're leading to. Or is that not what you're leading to?
In a way, it seemed like there was, for a North American, like, I guess we'll call it a North American gaming circuit, or something like that. It is the staple for what we have for StarCraft 2 in North America. There's no question about it. Like, IPL's there, it's great, but MLG, there's a reason why there's 20,000 people in Anaheim, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, from what I saw, they take care of the Korean players way more, like, better. There is special treatment, but it just seemed like there was more more than what we saw.
Well, yeah, but I think at the end of the day, what do you want, right? You want a great tournament, and in order to do that, you want the players to be able to perform their best. And if there's things like language barriers and such, of course you're going to take steps to go ahead and ensure that they are accommodated for food, for how to get around, just common things that most people would take for granted. I'm certain now. I don't know how that fits in with the European players, like White Raw, and from all the European players I met are very good at speaking English, or good enough, including White Raw. So the Koreans not so much. Some of them you could tell were a little bit uncomfortable, but
you also got to think though, like it was one of the first really big forays for the Koreans outside of like leaving Korea, coming to North America, and you always kind of want to put your best foot forward.
Yeah,
they're going to provide consistently the best games. That's just a fact, and you want them coming back. You want to show, and because what's going to happen is all those guys went back, and they're like, "Damn, I had an awesome time at MLG." They and then all of their the rest of their teammates are going to be vying to go over. So, I mean, it was a strategic decision. I think it was the best business decision to give them a little bit of special treatment. I have no issue with it. I mean, again, like in every sport, Michael Jordan I'm sure got preferential treatment over like a newbie scrub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to happen,
Yeah.
And I don't know.
To your point, Simpatico, talking about how you want these guys going home happy and telling their Korean buddies and their managers, they also have a very delicate relationship with GSL.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say it's delicate, but like it's the first year them signing with GSL.
It's always delicate. No, delicate's actually the perfect word because GSL has a standard to hold themselves to. It's not like MLG. It's a cultural standard in Korea now. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's SC2 is so entwined in the culture. KESPA, that's a big move to partner with an American company. And it's a big move for MLG, so that is delicate. That's a very delicate thing because we saw Naniwa get a spot, and then we saw what happened when he quit that well, didn't quit the game, but the whole pro ordeal, and that was sort of tense right there for a minute between the two. So but I think that we need to get back to sort of the original question, which is MLG is promoting NA over pure talent.
Well, before you do that, Clutch was making a good point in chat. Koreans represented GLS in the entire esports mecca, so we wanted to make a great impression for them. I mean, which is kind of a long.
Yeah, you quoted that actually word for word.
I work with yeah.
All right.
You can't argue with Clutch. If Clutch just renamed timeout. If Clutch just renamed GSL, so be it.
Whatever.
It's GLS now. It's Global League
GSL.
StarCraft.
Good save. Good save.
That's it. So Clutch has spoken. GSL is no longer GSL. It's GLS now.
Little known fact, actually, Clutch is the same person as Mr. Chase. That is an official.
There you go, yeah.
Clutch
He does the Mission Impossible, like, mask removal. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would totally freak me out. I could see Clutch doing that during an interview. Like, interviewing OGSMC and then pulling off the mask, and turns out he's MC, and the other MC.
And then he turns out to be Sundance also, and he actually made a deal between his two companies. Everyone's like, what just happened? Okay, this is going nowhere.
Yeah, this is worth bombing.
Can I reel it back in?
Host Nexy. All right, Nexy, you got host. Talk about your guest, special guest,
so
combo with us.
The sensitivity between the MLG and, what did you call it, the GLS?
GLS.
That relationship's sensitive, but you got to look. MLG's not trying to compete. Of course, they're going to promote these North American players because MLG's headquarters in North America. That's the audience they're trying. The audience already exists for the Korean players. Most of the American hardcore guys already know about the Korean players. Let's promote some of the guys in the home, the home state, and that's where the sponsors are. Those are the same sponsors we're going after. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe 3 years from now it'll be different, but I could totally see. I understand is what I'm trying to say.
Let me actually talk about one of those North American players, because I get a lot of shit from all the Stim guys for, I really like Liquid Tyler. I think he's a really smart player. He doesn't, everybody says he doesn't post any results, but when you think about it, he's top 8 North America, right? Like, he's probably getting an invite. And when you hear that, you think, well, he hasn't done anything, but then you think about who else is in North America, right? It's like Slush, Kiwi Kaki, Chef, In Control, Tyler, you're roughly equal. Machine, DDE. I mean, you see how and then after that, there's a couple players who there's some really good players who are under that level, but North America falls off so fast.
Yeah, I hate North America.
It is very top heavy. North America is very top heavy.
No,
but I think we like to watch North Americans a lot too. Like, there are so many,
I'm a huge homer.
Yeah, I'm a Foreigner fanboy. Like, Foreigner in terms of not Korean. But
not the Nexy version.
Not the Nexy version of
everybody that's not American.
I wasn't paying attention. No, I respect that. I understand where it all comes from. I actually misspoke and tried to save it, so.
No, that confused the shit out of me too. Like, at first I was like, what are you talking about, Foreigner? Foreigner?
Well, the console foreigners are from the UK, like Power Gaming and Dignitas and all that stuff.
That makes sense.
All right, so let's move on. Online qualifiers, a better format? And that's my question mark voice. A better format? Perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. It'll create a lot of cool content. And I like the idea of, not maybe a few less events. And I think that'll they'll just be a lot more special when they do happen. And you'll have all that kind of storyline coming in from... And that'll also give a lot of time to develop, promo videos, stuff like that, which MLG is already really good at. And I think, they're going to be able to do that more, highlight videos and stuff, just really up the production. Coming out of the online qualifiers into the live events.
I want to highlight the way iGrok drinks that Dr. Pepper every time. Do it again. Go ahead.
Anytime anyone says MLG, it's just
watch this.
Social conditioning, man.
You have to notice
I got this.
Watch. Boom. Look at the logo.
Oh,
perfect degree angle right there. Look at that.
Wow.
Dr. Pepper, the unofficial sponsor of Stimcast. They don't realize.
God, I have a great video.
And we will bring up Dr. Pepper later in this cast.
Okay, so be it. You're the producer, and we listen to you. So yeah, I think the online qualifiers as well will end up being a better format.
I got thoughts.
We're gonna get to you. Settle down. First, we're gonna go. There's a guy sitting to your right, or I don't know where he is on the overlay. Actually, Newbie, what do you think, man?
I like it a lot. I think, like Simpatico said, it gives a lot more meaning to each live event. I think the live events will be bigger, and I think that it'll have a lot better continuity through the whole year. I think some interesting content and some interesting stories and stuff will come out of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That beard, man. I don't remember you having that beard. You're looking good, Newbie.
You do. You look.
What?
You look awesome, man.
Yeah.
You got the chin strap going.
Yeah.
Nexy, what's your thoughts?
Yes, he called on me.
Kid in the front row with the hand up, going tired, falling asleep.
Well, MLG's already established themselves as the premier StarCraft league. All the hardcore dudes know MLG. Everybody fucking watches it. It's MLG's goal, right, or it should be, or I think it is, to capture the new audience. How do you do that? You create storyline, right? So this whole couple-week thing where you play online and there's a shit ton of video content, it's going to capture people like me. So when we do finally get to the event, there's a ton of more people like me who are interested, and I know a storyline now, and there's a player for me to follow. In the past, I've only shown up to the event and been like, oh, that dude looks cool, I'm going to follow him. But now it gives me a storyline. So props to MLG, and they figured out a way to save a little money while doing it, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Grok,
Plus,
Travis?
My only comment is hopefully, this way they can get some more community casters rotating in there. So I thought that was a really cool initiative that they did last year.
I'm not allowed to... How do I phrase...
I
there will be... you know what? There...
Don't say anything.
Shut up.
Okay.
They're all.
All right, I'm gonna put it this way. Let me put it like this. MLG's not moving backwards in any way.
Okay.
Okay, they're not moving backwards.
I would expect nothing less.
Oh,
Right.
and dudes, you guys just got here for StarCraft. I'm sorry to tell you, but every year MLG
Whoa.
Travis-
Insult Travis.
Whoa.
That was broad. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
I was going to Meadowlands events, okay?
Travis is an OG.
StarCraft people don't know.
How do you feel about
But
Francis?
MLG's thing is always every year reinvent the wheel, and they've done a great job of it. So for those of you who've only been watching for a year with the StarCraft stuff, MLG's done a fantastic job. To the point where when I went to the final event in 2005 to the first event in 2006, I got chills up my spine because it's just a completely different world. That happens every single year, and I have no doubt that next year will be the same.
There was an MLG before StarCraft?
I
I think they played some
they
game
play?
about like a guy in a suit of armor. I don't even know.
Yeah, Shadow.
Was that a Marine? I thought that was. I always just thought it was a Marine from Brood War.
Yeah, wasn't that StarCraft Ghost? That's
StarCraft.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I think we're reaching a little bit, guys. Are we reaching?
I'm going to tie Nexy to StarCraft. Watch this. Nexy, what was your original screen name?
What do you mean?
Before it was Nexy, what did you go by? Where you shortened it?
Oh, Nexus. Yeah!
Yeah, buddy.
My original name was Nexus. I shortened it. How the fuck did you know that?
Dude, he's our producer. He knows all this stuff, man. This
He's
is why
Facebook
you
stalking
He
you.
totally wikied you and was like, I'll get him
It
with
was
that.
on your Wikipedia page, man.
Nope, it's on that MLG office page.
You did your homework.
All right, son, come to order. Will EG show better results with all of the streamed team practices they've been doing? Will it blend?
I don't even know what that means, but
Hey, I even put it in a different color. Like.
So Travis wrote troll notes into the show notes in bright hot pink just to see if Tumba would read them.
newbie reads
I am like
typo.
fucking.
Tumba
What's his
just
name?
goes
Will
off.
Ferrell in the
What did I
Anchorman.
say? This is the same thing I just said like 20 minutes ago.
I am the Anchorman. I will read whatever's on the show notes, so you can't do that because fucking I'm gonna read it. So, and I did it the same way he did on the fucking movie. I even did it. Will it blend? Like, thank you guys, because I'm thinking to myself.
Alright, so will EG show better results with all the stream practice?
I mean, Huck won last year, right? He won Orlando.
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with In Control and the Muslim streaming though?
It's about EG results.
Will the Muslim be at more MLGs this year?
That was
Or
a
any
decent.
MLGs this year?
I guess, that comes down to visa issues, which is unfortunate, like, in this day and age that we still have, you know what I mean? Like,
The guy's so good.
It's that
He's
damn
so
Tea
good.
Party.
I think I see him. Yeah, no, he's on the list.
Is
for
he?
North
Okay, good.
America, ironically.
I just hope he can make it, because that guy is so friggin' good, man. It's like scary how good the Muslim is. Damn. By the way, does anyone know the I've always wondered this. Does anyone know the origins of his name? Is he Muslim?
No.
No.
I've never known. I've never known where his name comes from. That's an interesting point. Anyone in chat? If anyone in chat knows, it's always bothered me. Anyway,
Wiggins says
How does
whiskey,
Brock
so...
not know it? Brock knows the origins of everyone's name, apparently.
Good question, indeed.
He knows that you're actually your twin brother that your parents didn't tell you about, that you had a different name.
You know what I found today?
Awful shit, but...
Totally off topic, but I'm gonna link you guys in the Skype call. I'll just stay with you later. It's pretty. No, somebody's stalking me again, dude. Hold on, I'm gonna fucking link you guys. It's crazy.
I wish I had a stalker, man. That's awesome.
I'd
have coffee with my stalker, for sure.
How do I check?
Wiggins saying that he likes Muhammad Ali, and that it's not a whiskey like he said earlier.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So
he's a
what's
fighter.
Sort of weird is I think Day 9's on right now. Why am I not watching Day 9? Anyway, okay.
It's Sunday, Monday.
So basically,
I don't think that their results are going to improve much this year. To be honest, I've watched some of their streaming practice, and it never seemed like super serious. I mean, I haven't watched that much of it, but it didn't seem like intense. It seemed more like a group of friends just kind of playing and practicing builds against each other.
Why would they be intense?
Well, you would be intense being like, okay, like, and really breaking stuff down. Well, I would think so.
Are they camping?
If you're practicing, if the idea is to practice,
intense.
Oh, I get it, intense. This is gonna be fucking intense.
So, can you clarify what element of streaming your team practice would make you a better player? Like, why is that even a connection?
I think the correlation
because we know what's going on. Okay,
it's because exactly. No. It's showing that they're practicing X amount of hours. So you know,
well, I mean, we assume that
it's
anyway.
the ball and chain. You're chained to the internet, and your fans can make sure you're practicing. It's like
I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Team Rain, I think, I was reading up on them earlier today, and they've got like a 24-hour webcam at their house. It's like, okay, I get to watch these players sleeping. That's great. Like, that doesn't do anything.
Okay, so far, I'm going to rephrase this.
Okay.
Does anybody in Stimcast today think that they're going to post better results due to all the stream team practices they've been doing?
Nope.
No, I don't think
I think some will.
Their team practice at all.
No, I asked, does anybody think it will?
Are we talking EG as a group?
I saw the Muslim today in the War of Roses attack his bunker while he was being attacked instead of repairing it with the SCVs.
Oh.
Okay.
That made me
it's
sad.
that practice, man. Like
that practice.
It happens.
I stole the car today. It shit happens, bro.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you know.
I think we
apparently, when a Terran attacks his own shit, it works out good for him. Typically.
He completely. Well, okay. Oh, you're thinking about MMA.
Yes. Destroy your own command center, win game.
I think we're actually it's gonna feel like EG did better this year, or will do better this year, and that's mainly because obviously Indra and Huck are gonna post some decent results. Puma's going to post results. If the Muslim shows up, he's absolutely going to post some results. And now we have JYP, and we don't have Axlav and
But how many people
Strife Crow. I was going to say
thought they were on EG?
Yeah, well, no, I think they did though. But so I mean, generally their lineup improved. So hopefully, as an organization, they're going to do better. And I'm an EG fan, so I'm hoping so. They had a great 2011, and they're in line to have an even better 2012, I think. With their
results
pickups.
don't matter.
It's whoever has the most drama, and like, which I agree with to a certain extent, actually.
It's a marketing agency. It's
that
gaming team.
No, results absolutely matter. I disagree completely. Results definitely matter. That's ridiculous to say otherwise.
I don't know, man. If you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about like, okay, so they're streaming their team practices now, and if they just use that for marketing.
No, that's a different story. But I mean, results matter no matter what. Like, but if you're gonna stream to market, man. I want to watch players practice. What's the difference? You know what I mean? I'll go watch. I'll watch them. I want to see what they're up to. That's fine. Okay, so let's move on to One Nation of Gamers. What is One Nation of Gamers? Well, you can always go to onenationofgamers.com if somebody can link that in chat before I choke. That would be wonderful. And
Newbie, what the hell?
One Nation of Gamers, though, dude, this was like an amazing event because they've got a great idea that I wish I had come up with, and essentially it's linking all of these Barcrafts together, as Bitter like to call it, a Barcraft blanket, which is a very comfy blanket, by the way. And if you buy a beer, if you buy a sandwich, basically those proceeds, a percentage goes to a prize pool, which is brilliant because the more bars you have, the bigger the prize pool. And, everything obviously on the up and up. All prize money was there because we knew that was a big deal last year. A lot of these events got a little sketchy. So I think $1,500 to first. It was a $3,000 total purse. And, they cared, man. They definitely cared. They put a lot of heart and soul into the production behind it. And they did a hell of a job on the whole thing. It was great to be a part of it. I was honored when Bitter asked me to cast with them. It was great, good fun. And really, these guys did so well putting it on. But, the first topic, I guess, and again, check them out, onenationofgamers.com, if you're downloading the show, as most do. Could Chef have beaten Cass in the ace match, or is he that mannered? Now, you're referring to the fact, okay, so that final match went on for what felt like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And at about 45 minutes in, I glance over at chat, and I see somebody saying, F these two cast, and I love the trolls, you know that. I mean, I literally love, Sympathetic will tell you, I love them. And he's like, F these two casters, say something insightful and not what's happening on the screen. And I wish, before that person got banned, I could have found him to bring him on the show, because I want to ask him, what the fuck are we supposed to say 43 minutes in after casting for, Jesus Christ, like, we don't know. We're not a crystal fucking ball. How do we know what's going to happen? We're fans like you are. What the hell, man? That was a crazy-ass game. We didn't know what was going to happen. And
just tell him who was going to win, bro.
Dude, the 7-base Zerg, like, taking 3/4 of the map, that's standard. Like, why don't you... What's your problem?
Standard. But, I mean, evidently they didn't want us to comment on what was going on in the screen, so I didn't know if they wanted us to comment on what the players looked like at the moments they were playing. I don't know, but, it's sort of ridiculous.
The game, man, it's impossible. Like, you can...
Exactly.
At the beginning of the game, you can start to decipher builds and whatever, you can talk about what might happen, whatever. At that late in the game, there's nothing to talk about. You're basically just calling stuff and maybe relating to other older games or other games you've seen them play. Brood War references.
What was the game in Anaheim that 9 was casting, I think, with Wii?
Boxer and
That was Boxer and Rain.
Oh, yeah, 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Look at that one an hour in. They're like,
Nine's just like, yeah, so eventually...
They're
gonna go kill each other.
Something's gonna happen soon. So yeah, basically, the question though was, in that ace match, was Chef just that mannered? And I was shocked, man, because it would have been perfect fungals. He would have needed perfect fungals to win the game, but it wasn't impossible. I mean, it was doable. Cass, very hard, and I think though, 9 times out of 10. Maybe maybe 99 out of 100 Cass is going to win in that position, but there is that one chance that one time that Chef could pull it off. And man, Chef's such a manner player that he was just like, you know what, I think I'm beat this time, and it was a manner GG no matter how you look at it, because there was a game with Cass and Illusion that went on a lot longer than it had to, which I don't fault Illusion for at all, but I think that Chef realized that one was probably a little out of his grasp. So
was that I can't remember, was that the final game?
No, it was
that was group stage.
Right, the final of that night, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
the last game of the evening before that was the last game on Saturday night, and but Chef
didn't make it out.
Those counterattacks, amazing. And you know what it reminded me of, Simpatico, was Boxer, Chef, Anaheim. Remember where Boxer would attack and Chef would counter with Lings and
Was that on Crossfire?
No, it was on...
not Crossfire, what's the... Dual Sight.
No.
It was in that series, though, right? Oh, yeah. Metalopolis. It was game 2.
Metalopolis on game 2.
Yeah, I remember.
And then another one as well. I forget which map. But yeah, no, for sure. And he reminded me of that style, but the difference was Kaz, decided to go Blue Flame and throw him off a little bit and made the adjustments he had to, and Cass really impressed me in that entire series. He's just really good. So before we go any further, let's just screw it, let's just get into it now. Stephano forfeiting the finals. It's the hot topic. It's the drama of the week. First show note, Grok, is a little raw. Are you effing kidding me? Is the first show note.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
That wasn't me. It wasn't in pink.
That wasn't me.
All right, so first of all, let's everybody go ahead, and we're going to start with Nexy on this. We're going to go, here's the order of operations. Nexy, Newbie, Grok. I'm going to remember this. Nexy, Newbie, Grok, Travis, Simpatico, Tumba. So, Nexy, you're first up. Essentially, Stephano decided to forfeit the finals. A lot of fans waiting to see him play, and he had played in a tournament earlier in the day. What do you think about it?
Okay. I want to take my time with this one because I want to make sure I say this properly.
I didn't do that yesterday, but go ahead.
Because, I've ran into, I've said some things without really thinking it through to the StarCraft community, and I've realized that if you don't fucking choose your words carefully, you're going to make the front page of Reddit, and that shit ain't fun. So I will say this. Let's take a look at the Halo community. Totally governed by MLG. No community events. The community doesn't make any decisions. Let's look at fighting game community. They're not governed by anyone but themselves. Totally community-driven everything. I feel like StarCraft community has done a great job balancing the government, let's call it government of MLG, GSL, and whatnot, and community events. There's a balance there, a very fine balance. So when you see something like this go up, where it's a community-driven event, money raised, Barcraft, the whole nine, and you have a player who just doesn't show up, that's totally disrespectful and messes up the ebb and flows that makes the StarCraft community so wonderful. He just doesn't show up. Well, I mean, he says he's tired or whatever, right? But that's fucking up the balance. So, I'm not in the community per se, but I am insulted if I were a community member. I'd be furious. And I think the right course of action is similar to what's been going on, where Stephano should be flamed, just shit on, just badmouthed, just totally raped until he shows up on time for his next tournament. Then everyone should drop it. So that's where I stand. I feel like it's an insult. It's messing up the balance of the community versus big tournaments of StarCraft, and something should be done, and I just described how I think it should be dealt with.
I really want to resign as host of Stimcast and elect that Nexy takes over, because, wow, we should have went with Nexy last. Damn it.
I have a feeling that Nexy's going to do good
I
at
can't follow it.
rapid
I can't follow it. I can't.
Yes, you can. Go ahead. Stephano.
Oh, I'm running for president, by the way. Vote for me.
Ah, sweet. No, so I don't like that he said that he was tired and decided to just go to bed. I do think that it's disrespectful to the fans that stayed up to watch him play, and it's disrespectful to the casters who were staying up all night, and it's disrespectful to the people to organize the event. That being said, I think he just kind of accepted the punishment. I think he was done at that point. And if he says that he was going to play a crappy game, I really wouldn't have wanted to watch a crappy game. I'd much rather watch that final game.
With Illusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Cost Illusion.
Grok, what's your thoughts on the situation?
Well, as a tournament organizer, I've had players actually do exactly this, right? Where they cut out before the finals and they say, I'm done. Whatever. And I don't know. I feel like, from that perspective, it sucks. And when that immediately happens, you want to just say, you will never play StarCraft again for any tournament that I'm associated with. I'm going to hunt down your family, etc. You get mad. But no, I actually think the ONOG handled it really well, and I think Stephano actually, just from what he's posted and stuff like that, he's not contesting that he should be getting second place money or anything like that. And while it sucks, for the fans and stuff, you still got to see some great games. It adds a little bit of a unique flavor. It gets ONOG talked about more. This could be a blessing in disguise, basically.
What?
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I'm serious.
Agree.
I'm totally serious. You still saw, awesome games. If it was going to be a shitty ZVT, then you get to see, a better game. You get more publicity because all publicity is good publicity. And then you get So Stephano, yeah, people are going to be angry, but it's not like, I don't think it's the end of the world. And I think, honestly, as long as he accepts it, he accepts, okay, well, yeah, I got bumped down to 4th. That sucks, but that's my own damn fault. Then I don't have a problem with it, even though like I understand the other perspective.
Okay, all right. Very non-biased, more forgiving than me. Travis, thoughts?
I like what Jack said. I think it makes pretty much a lot of sense of what's going to happen. Like, it's just people aren't going to care about it. It's really not that big of a deal. But I also want to take a page out of Nexy's book on it, where it does mess up kind of Stephano and the community's eyes, because the next time I'm a tournament organizer running, like, I don't know, if I give $500 that I want to throw a tournament, I'm automatically not inviting Stephano to that.
Yeah.
Like 100%. It's the same reason why they wouldn't invite Naniwa if he was still in Europe, right? And the same thing.
Nexy's hands
go
up.
ahead. I'll let you go because I have another point.
But I want to piggyback off what you said about the next time, yada yada, something like this happens. Look at the Smash Brothers community. There's a player named Mewtwo King, the best Smash player of all time. And surprisingly, Smash Brothers has a ginormous community, guys. Just in case you didn't know.
DVV, man.
What system do you play it on though?
GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube. But the Wii also has a GameCube.
I'm old school. I play 64.
All right.
No, this is.
Hang on.
No.
Make the point.
Derail.
There's the cheating
Whoa.
scandal.
They play
Hold
Brawl.
it. Stop. Next.
The point I'm trying to make is Mewtwo King threw a tournament and got away with it to make sure his buddies got paid out. He did it again. He did it fucking 10 times. Every major tournament you had Mewtwo King throwing tournaments because he got away with it. And it just ruined Smash Brothers, dude. Like, obviously, who the fuck cares about Smash Brothers, but people do this. He's the best player in the world, throwing games, getting away with it, and it gets repeated because nobody comes down on him. Right. But anyway, go ahead.
MLG did.
Yeah, MLG eventually did. But he kept doing it anyway, which is ridiculous, but whatever.
Okay, so Travis sort of agrees with Grok, but
it's also a tale of, like, I guess Stephano. I'm gonna give Stephano a benefit of the doubt, because I've talked to him before. He seems pretty nice, but isn't he only like 16 or something like that, or 15 years old? Yeah, he's like really young. And
no,
this isn't...
I don't think I think he's older than 16.
He's in his.
He's
older than that, but he is still in school. I think he's in college.
I don't know. He's really young, but anyway, this isn't the first time we've had like any issues with him before. I mean, if you guys remember the whole complexity thing, where he transferred over complexity and then backed out of that 2 days later and went back with Millennium, like it's to be expected, I guess. It's kind of like an Naniwa type thing where I'm like, all right, well, it's that type of player.
He's 19 in March.
Okay.
He's one of those trope players. So if you can afford to put up with
if you're 18 years old playing StarCraft and you're only playing StarCraft and you've won a major tournament in IPL, you're not really focused around the greater good of what you can affect.
He straight up said that too.
You're just kind of I'm tired. It's kind of like the Huck thing. He's worried about money because, well, he's the highest paid player for a reason. Just he's going to worry about himself. It doesn't matter what he does. If he takes $2,500 to get to New York to play in the MLG thing, that's not even enough money for him to be like, oh, well, that's a big deal.
It's not about the money.
No, it is. Everything's about the money.
No, but that's such a bullshit, fucked up. That's really that. I'm fuming right now.
Everything's about the money.
Like, it's not about no. Fuck that. It's about the. You think Tiger Woods opens up kids clinics for the money and gives back to go? I mean,
no, that's public image. Like,
you're right. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Which ties into sponsors. Which equals money.
Public image is money. It's just you have to take a couple extra steps.
Are you telling me that no sports figure actually does a good deed?
I'm not saying no.
To give back, if it doesn't have to do with money.
I'm not saying that. But you expect an 18-year-old player, 18-year-old kid who's in France, doesn't have very much money. He even said the donations that he got from the Shoutcraft tournament actually helped him get some food because he was hungry. He posted it on Twitter, and everybody's like, "Oh, that was so great." He's not going to care about 20,000 people surrounding him and how his decisions affect those people and their experience with the game. He's not going to think of that.
How could he live with himself?
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. Like, he's going to get his check from Twitch.
You know what? If he doesn't care, then hopefully the community doesn't give a fuck about him. Because if the community doesn't give a fuck about him, then he's going nowhere. He'll be a flash.
That's what you have to hope for. But the next time he makes 3 cracklings and beats 8 tanks sieged up outside of his main, and everybody's like, "This is the sickest thing ever. Stephano's so great." Think about that the next time. Same thing with Manning. I don't care.
I mean, I hope that.
I don't care.
I hope it doesn't go that way. I hope he learns from the experience. Because, I mean, first of all, I made a comment during the cast that was a little polarizing.
It was very American.
It was a little polarizing. I think Simpatico, though, your point is best because it is a community-driven event. I don't care what age you are. You learn in kindergarten right and wrong. And you learn about commitment by the time you're 13, you understand what a commitment is. He
committed to 2 things at the same time, and that's fucked up. That's fucked up. And honestly, furthermore, I'm sorry, he played all day or whatever. Don't double book, right? But on top of that,
hours later than him, and was still up and playing.
Right? Yeah, that too. But not only that, suck it the fuck up. Honestly, there's a lot harder jobs in this world, like digging ditches and whatever other awful job you can think of, than playing StarCraft. If you can't stay up an extra couple hours, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not a Stephano fan. I used to appreciate his candidness. I used to appreciate his play. He had an interesting style of play. Yeah. I think people are figuring it out a little bit more. But he's a very strong player. I liked him. I won't be a fan of his until he fixes his attitude in the future. Like Nexy was saying, when he shows up to his next tournament on time, plays properly and respects the crowd, right. A fresh kind of slate starts there, But until then, fuck him.
Yeah, I
like you, Simpatico.
Yeah, I like you too. You have a cool beard.
That's very well put, Simpatico. And I mean, I always say, you're my brother from another mother, and that pretty much is how I would articulate it. I did make a comment. I did make a joke about France, and I have very self-deprecating humor a lot of the time. I'll put myself down a ton, so I just think that everybody can take a joke, and some people can't take a joke. And I've been asking people, do you think that was too much? Was that too far? And a lot of people said no. A lot of people said yes. French people said no. French people said yes. So I don't have to repeat exactly what I had said. I should have said Stephano isn't doing anything to. Further that generalization, to defeat that generalization. But essentially, I was taking my aggression out on him throughout the night with jokes about going to bed early and whatnot. But Stephano, I do want to make an apology, though, but not to him. My apology, obviously, is to One Nation of Gamers and also to Mr. Bitter if I put him in an awkward situation when I said it. Because it is an international audience, and I do love everybody, all the fans of StarCraft. I mean, I'm a fan of StarCraft. That's why I was so mad. And I feel like I had the mic, right? I had a voice at the time, and I wanted to express just how upset I was, because here I am talking about this guy for months, not just on this cast, other casts, like the guy's got an X Factor. I spent an hour talking to Adebisi about it before we even got on the cast, and I'm pumping him up because he deserves it. He's earned that, and I couldn't wait to watch him play. I couldn't wait for that final between him and Kaz. I mean, that's what everybody wanted, man. Kids are waiting 5 hours to see this match happen, and you're going to tell me you're tired? I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm going to pull right now. I mean, that's crazy. I got to go with I'm sorry, I'm not sorry to you, Stephano. I'm sorry for the statement, though, if it in any way reflected One Nation of Gamers, because those guys put on a pristine event, and professional the whole way through, and they don't deserve any negative out of this at all, because what they're doing is selfless, and it's grassroots where it needs to be, and it goes back to that balance that Nexy was talking about. And I'm sorry, if esports wants to be taken seriously, could you imagine if that was on like an ESPN2 or something? That's the last time ESPN2 would ever try to. It'd be over. That'd be it. It'd be done. Players not showing up for a final. That doesn't happen in a professional setting. He's supposed to be a professional gamer. Be professional. Suck it up, like Simpatico said. I mean, yeah, you're tired. All right, deal. If the games would have been bad, you know what? Play better. It's going to make you a better player. Fight through that. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of times great champions were dead tired and they rose to the occasion.
You ever watch the Ultimate Fighter? Yep. By any chance, like the UFC show where they kind of have two coaches or whatever. And there's a lot of guys that are up and comers in there. and you'll see them in like the sweat room, and they're fucking tired, and they don't want to do it anymore, and they're whining, and then like the coaches come in and they're like, dude, do you ever think I've gone into a fight 100%? Do you ever think I haven't had something broken or sprained or something going into a fight? Like, you have to be able to rise above that. You have to, and not just for yourself, whatever, but for the fans of the community. Like you said, kids were sitting there for 5 hours, getting pumped up about this finals, watching that storyline, and they just have it like crumbling down. Like, that's bullshit, man. That is total bullshit.
I don't care who you are. I think they were playing for $1,500.
Yeah.
If you could make $1,500 an hour, I don't care who you are, you will do it. So if he is that delusional where he just didn't care about that's ridiculous, dude. I don't know what planet you're from, but I will do a lot of shit for $1,500 if it's within an hour.
There's no doubt.
I would take some serious clients. I would.
Tell me something you wouldn't.
Because, I mean, it's, but on top of that, as a professional gamer, you have to understand, you did the Scan Invitational, that was great, but this is a community event, which makes it a special event to a lot of people.
It makes it especially worse that it was done.
Right, exactly my point. Like, they don't have the money of an IPL or an MLG to market something like this. This is all grassroots. A lot of people put a lot of effort into making this happen, and a lot of people were very, very disappointed. So, all right, moving on. Did One Nation of Gamers handle it properly? Basically, they bumped Stephano to 4th, and they had Cats and Illusion play for final spot. I'll tell you what, as a caster of the event, I thought it was the best solution they could possibly come up with to salvage a finals in the most fair way. So, yeah, I think they did a great job of handling it. And by the way, to give you some insight, it was so on the fly that this all happened. And, they had to make this decision right away. And they didn't want to keep the fans waiting, and they didn't want to postpone the show anymore. So, yeah, I think they handled it great. This time we're going in reverse order. Let's go this way with it. Does anybody disagree that they handled it, or does anybody think there was a better way it could have been handled?
I honestly think it should have been a full disqualification. A full DQ, because... well, fuck you, that's why.
No.
No, seriously, you didn't show up, get out, you're done.
Grok, why wouldn't it be a full DQ? He didn't finish the tournament out. Any other sport, if you elect not to finish, you don't get the prize.
Exactly.
You have to finish the event.
You can forfeit. Like, there in a lot of StarCraft tournaments, I'm not sure what the exact book or how much of a rule book they even had for this tournament, but in a lot of StarCraft tournaments, they say, if you want to forfeit your games, you can do so.
Yeah, if it's a third place match.
No,
like the main tournament.
Common sense wise, but actually written down rule, no, that isn't written down where it's you can only forfeit
now
certain.
You're playing, that's like the gotcha game. You know what I mean?
No, look, this is what I'm saying. Like, if we want to be, full on professional, A, we have to stick to the rules, right? Yeah. But B, we have to be able to make executive decisions. So I would really like how it handled. I honestly, I've thought about this, and this is, I think, the perfect example, right? Because it gets the best to everybody. It's okay to Stephano. It penalizes him, and he's gonna have to deal with the community shit anyways. But it's not like, now it's not like, okay, well, Stephano, he played a lot, and we made money off of him, but he's not getting anything. At least he's getting something.
Well,
for the games that he put forward.
I would have supported either decision, to be honest. So, I wouldn't have think it was so out of line either way.
So quick that honestly, I was surprised that something happened like that so fast. And Bitter's just telling me, I'm like, that already happened. Whoa.
Yeah, and when you're running a tournament, that snap call was actually really, really good. I think a good middle of the road, because if they would have given him a full DQ, that would have probably raised a lot more eyebrows. So I think they made a good decision. I looking at it now, I really wish it would have been a full disqualification, but to make that kind of decision on the fly with how many people were watching the stream at that time, there was like well over 10,000, like 15, almost maybe 17,000. I mean, think about 15,000 people in a room. That's that's a lot of people. And to have those people like waiting on you, like watching their screen, waiting for you to make a decision, that's a lot of pressure. So to do that, like, huge props to them. Like, we had like 35 people watching ASCW, and we're like making decision on Smurfs and stuff, and I'm like freaking out, and everyone's in Stim's freaking out because 35 people are waiting. 15,000 people. Damn, man. Props to ONOG.
Yeah, ONOG really, they handled it gorgeous. Every bit as professional as a major event would have, and in the same time, just it wasn't like, what do we do? There was no panic. It was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, and here's how we're gonna handle it. Boom.
They handled it so much better than some professional events. It's like some professional events, they'll keep you waiting for half an hour to an hour, but this was just boom, on the spot. We're going. Okay. I really respect that.
So
anyways, moving on.
Evidently, Stephano put out a tweet today. And the racist comments about French people is not necessary. Of course, correlating to my comment about France. Again, to the people of France, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you fight very good in wars. I hope you never have to go to war again. No, I'm dead serious. I mean, it wasn't about France in any way. I was more illustrating the fact that Stephano went ahead and surrendered, and it was in poor taste. The joke was in poor taste, and him surrendering was both in poor taste. Both of us unprofessional at the moment.
I'll say this, because I don't give a fuck. I laughed.
A lot of people said not to apologize. Like, a lot of people had told me, don't apologize, because you know what? It's people are sick of people over a joke that was like, I didn't, it's not like I'm going to go to France and talk shit on all the French. I have no problem with France. I love French fries.
It was a snarky comment.
It was
dude. It shows a little. You have a personality. You stick to it, and I thought that it was a really great, gracious apology that you just put together. But, dude, I'm gonna support you. I thought it was funny. It was funny.
I think people need to be less politically correct, because I think a lot of the best humor and the best humor that kind of makes you think too, like. Not necessarily this, but people seem so like chained down that you can't say shit that's like thought provoking anymore. Right. You have to be able to just spit shit out, and then people can digest it however they want. But I actually want to refer to Nexy for a second, because I'm curious. You've admin for MLG, right? Like, you've done a lot of administrating.
I directed the Gears of War tournament, the Rainbow Six Vegas tournament. I ran my own tournaments out of Jersey for 3 years. I've done a lot of administrating.
Okay, so you've been in that admin position, and we did a lot of adminning for our tournaments. So I'm curious how you would have handled that same situation. I'm really curious on.
That's a great question.
Agree with what they did, or
I'm more toward the fence of disqualifying them completely. But I will say that I wouldn't have been able to put that decision together on my own. I will say that having 15,000 people waiting for your own decision, you're going to be criticized no matter what decision you make, not being influenced by the pro players themselves and just thinking clearly in that situation and not delaying a tournament is fucking impossible. I would have not been able to make a decision in that amount of time that clearly. But in retrospect, I probably would have DQ'd him completely. If I had the proper time to think about it and bounce it off my peers. So I want to give props to the tournament director as well.
I can't wait for rapid fire, man. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I think it should just be Nexy. Nexy on the rapid fire questions. Get through that shit in 35 seconds flat.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you.
No doubt. Yeah.
I love it.
Didn't Stephano say he's only giving a year to StarCraft anyway?
Yeah, later this year he's done, and then he's going to school.
Okay, good.
Full time.
I love that. Okay, good. Moving on.
Mr. Tumbers, which I guess is the
best
Archon of myself and Bitter. Casting, good, bad, or just ugly?
Brock says good and ugly. The name. I don't like that name.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's so Mr. good. Tumbers. What are you talking about? That's so good.
Do you have a better one, Newbie?
No, I don't have anything.
Then there you go. Okay. So, but that's not the point. I think it was well received. I think that there was no doubt that Bitter was leading that cast. I was there to fill and, make sure that he got a rest from time to time. And it's funny because the other comment underneath it says there was a lot of biting of the tongue. I can remember the exact points. I was talking in Stim chat when I was doing them, because here's the bottom line. I'm what's known as, there's different kind of casters. There's a lot of different styles of casting. And I'm a gracious caster. I will never disagree, no matter who it is, Bitter or whoever else. I'm not going to be like, that's just stupid. or what are you talking about? I would be more, there's a classier way to do it, and you don't have to call your co-caster out if they do make a mistake. Not saying Bitter made any of those, but there was no way, even if I felt a certain way, I was going to disagree with Bitter. I think there was a time when Stephano was moving out with roaches, and Bitter was like, "No, don't do that. That's oh no." And I'm thinking, "Nope, he's going to be okay."
I remember that.
Yeah, and they could hear me in the cast going, biting my tongue. So yeah, of course I was biting my tongue, man. It's Bitter. He's he's an idol of mine. Him and Artosis, of course, I look up to these guys. They're wonderful casters. And there's a part there with the he mentioned U.S. foreign policy on bringing back in the immediately Stimcast chat went up in Skype. I had to alt tab because I knew it was happening, and they're like, Tumba's tongue is bleeding right now. And so yeah, but no, I think we were pretty well received as a casting duo over the weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks to fans for all the support, because no flames on Reddit anyway, just flamed by my friends. So
that's got to be a first.
Yeah. No, you know what? Actually, Grok, when Bitter and I casted Map of the Month, that was very well received as well.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate in both.
Thank you for the plug.
Both regards. Yeah.
Well, you guys mix pretty well together. You're both pretty laid back.
Yeah.
And neither of you, like, there's casters, like, I've been guilty of this, where I get too excited and I just start, like, freaking out. Like, I'm thinking of Caldor and Mole Trap right now, where you just get, like, you just start screaming at the top of your lungs constantly. And, like, I've been watching them, and this is just an honest criticism, whatever. I think they get a little bit too excited too often. And listening to you guys, it felt really relaxing. I was just like, all right, this is a cool game, whatever. And it felt like I was like hanging with friends a little bit. It was nice. You guys blend really well together, actually.
Well, that's
I
just
like
it.
Mr. Tumbers.
I felt like I was hanging with friends too when I told that France joke. I thought we were all friends. You know what I mean? I thought that's what we were going for, man. So I'm glad you felt that way. That's awesome. If anybody else would like to shower me in compliments, I will now accept them.
I think you're a good guy.
Oh, there goes Nexy's hand. Oh, this is going to be...
Tumba's pretty cool.
You're a cool guy and isn't afraid of anything, man.
Yeah, exactly. Jack's got it.
Sounds good. So can we move on to... I'm afraid with these show notes because I want to make sure I'm not getting trolled.
It's another landmine.
Yeah, no. Oh, this was so unfortunate. WTF Game 2 Cats vs. Illusion.
Well, yeah, so then somebody added in the show notes like a note from a completely different game. But, yeah. Whatever.
That was actually, that was Cats vs. Cas.
Right.
When the Baneling detonation went off on the rocks. Okay.
That was the worst transition of topics ever.
Sends in like 30
Well, okay, if you want to send me a compliment, Nexy, you're more than welcome to.
I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of Bitter. I think he's really well spoken and a really likable guy. Never been fond of his casting, but together you guys were great. I disagreed completely when I don't mind casters arguing. I don't mind saying, well, I don't agree with you there, but to say you shouldn't have said that is really, I don't want to say disrespectful, but I just disheartening.
Welcome to the world of Counter-Strike casting. God, that used to happen all the time. It was so annoying.
Yeah, but to say like you shouldn't have said that.
Oh wait, do you mean when Bitter was referring to my statement about my joke?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he said, "Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. We have an international audience. You can think it all you want." Well, I think
it's okay to disagree. Don't reprimand. How about that?
Okay, but it's a unique position here because there's a couple of things that moving pieces. One, if it's my tournament, because I produce tons of tournaments with Simpatico all year, and Grok and Newbie and everything. If it's my tournament with my name on it, awesome. You're right. But like, it's not my tournament. I was invited as a guest caster to cast with him. He has the One Nation of Gamers name. Are you really in the bathroom?
I think he's about to take a dump. I think he's actually about to. Wait, are you about to take a piss?
Just keep talking. Don't bring the attention on me, bro.
All right. So basically,
this is happening.
This is happening right now. Boom.
You want to see it?
Reddit. Someone post this on Reddit right now. Fuck, put this on Reddit.
Hey, look, you're right, dude. You're right. But you guys did a great job. Let's leave it at that.
You can talk
thank
about.
you very much. And he was offering great advice the whole way. I mean, I think that's what it talks to. So we're gonna move on.
You guys did a
though.
wonderful job. I watched it. So.
Thank you so much.
I like how you say that while you're holding your penis.
I'm gonna shake. Hold on. I'm shaking.
Dude, this is the most boss Stimcast of all time.
Yeah,
The only thing that makes it better is if that goes in the toilet.
How do I wash my hands with a laptop? Nicole!
Hand sanitizer.
Can you hold my laptop?
Angle Nexy, it's like
You should have had her help you pee, man. Then you wouldn't have to wash your hands.
I'm gonna have to wash one hand at a time. Hold on. No, go ahead. So I'm not trying to steal the show. I'm sorry.
Well,
no, dude, steal it. It's yours.
Yeah, you can't
Please
steal
take
it.
it.
You can have it. Just
Nicole?
Take it.
I need someone to hold my laptop so I can wash my hands.
You cannot.
I got soap.
You can't stop Nexy. You can only hope to contain him. That's all you can do.
Tell me we should reprimand him for this, and we should have a topic about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to reprimand Nexy. I'm afraid.
You should not hold your penis on Stimcast.
Nexy, we're moving you down to 4th.
To 4th?
Moving you down to 4th. And,
that is fucking boss.
Is that a good enough transition to cats now?
Yeah.
Nexy, are you done peeing?
Yes, I'm done.
So for those of you that are downloading the show, essentially, Nexy put the show on hold while he peed on camera. So
very standard.
Yeah, standard.
You should probably watch it live because this shit happens.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, so Cats versus Illusion, Cats versus Kaz. I have to say one thing about Cats, and Bitter said it too. Underrated player, and I think so. I think that Simpatico and I followed him a lot last year. Simpatico and I casted some show matches with him, and he was, by the way, really tired and still gave his all.
Yeah.
In those matches, forgot he had to play him. I think it was after Go 4 SC2 or something, but he played them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that speaks volumes to Cats right there. And that was very unfortunate, those banelings on the rocks, because everything seemed to be going his way in that game. And for Cats to beat Kaz and take a game off Kaz would have been,
huge.
That game in particular would have been great. I think that Cats has come a long way, and I think he's one of the more creative players we've seen, and he has balls. He has the balls to pull those builds off that other people were like, oh, he's a cheeser, oh, he's this or that. I don't give a shit. A win's a
He's the Cats of Zerg, damn it.
What?
What?
You've never seen that?
Oh my god.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, just look it up. Look it up.
The people that follow StarCraft.
Yeah. Yeah, that is fucking hilarious though.
Are you going out for a smoke?
Where is Nexy going?
I'm in my backyard, my patio.
He's going shopping.
Jesus.
He's going to the Acme.
We're just getting a tour of the Nexy house right now.
Yeah. You guys don't mind, do you?
No, dude.
Go for it.
If
Light
I
up
smoke,
Black Rock. I don't. Go ahead and light up a.
Anyways. Alright.
Well, there goes all our anti-smoking sponsorships.
You're right.
Stimcast, sponsored by Marlboro.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. If they could send me a couple of cartons, that would be sick.
Keep that smoke that way.
Yeah. Oh god, what are you doing? I don't know. Just other notes from the games were the Cats versus Illusion game, where that was the craziest game I've seen in a long time. That was where it's like Cats. I mean, there's just counterattacks going everywhere, expansions going in weird places. Like Illusion takes the middle base instead of his natural.
No, he lifted off his natural and flew it over, and then into his third, and then built another command center in his third, and doesn't mind from it. I'm like, what? Like, it's sort of proving my point that Terran can do whatever they want a little bit, Simpatico. And, God,
that was so dumb. That entire game was just...
I wasn't really paying attention when that game actually happened live, so I rewatched the VOD, and I was like, oh, I heard that game happen. I didn't watch that game happen, but I definitely heard it. And it was just as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was like, where is that?
Pretty amazing game.
It was like
it was great. But I was like, where the base?
Dude, they were both playing standard.
Dude, Illusion was doing some wild shit, man.
How large you are, bro?
Adding Blue Flame at 23 minutes in, and Bitter telling me that wasn't really Blue Flame, remember? And I was like,
Yeah,
no.
I do. Like, no,
I'm like, okay. And again, I agreed with him. I'm like, I know it was Blue Flame because I hovered my mouse and it said Infernal Preigniter, but that's fine.
Right.
I don't know. He's like, Tumba, that's not right. It's not Blue Flame.
Like, Bitter, yes it is.
Later on, I was like,
I love that. But,
yeah, I mean, Illusion, man, another, you know what? These young kids amaze me. Like, 15 years old with all that talent. I'm so jelly to my belly.
And they interviewed him afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I forgot there were minerals in my natural. Like, I turned to Vorep, or I think Vorep said it, and he's like, Vorep's just like, yeah, you know, they make these new confusing maps, you know, gas-only expansions in your natural. That's...
Don't give Blizzard ideas, man. Like,
Grok's gonna put that on his new map.
They're gonna put rocks over my geysers and like.
Oh, you asshole! Why would you say that?
Blizzard won't do that.
It's gonna be a 2-2 split because I'm gonna have to send one SCV to each geyser. And
Blizzard wants everything as standard as possible. Seriously, they've said to mappers, if it's not 8 minerals, 2 gas at every expansion, then we're not even considering it for ladder.
I don't understand why they have to relegate to what.
What does relegate mean?
Okay, let me dumb this down. All right, there we go. So anyway, no, I mean, why would you put those restrictions on map makers? Because
it's one less.
Bitter made a good point yesterday, saying like you get enough monkeys banging on typewriters, and you know they'll write some Shakespeare, and that's kind of like they keep plugging away at these maps. But really, I think talking about community, they need to go more into that.
They're not going to, and it's, you know, I beat this, you know.
Yeah, this is a Stimcast dead horse for sure.
Really, really quickly, it's because it gives them one less variable to balance around, and they think that pro and tournament maps should be completely separate from ladders, and that bronze through platinum can't understand expansions that are different minerals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to Barcrafts, something I love. I will be organizing a Barcraft in Miami. Or Fort Lauderdale, actually, I should say, because Fort Lauderdale will be the better market. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so far, Bitter has gone ahead and agreed to come, as has Clutch. So we're going to do it around their schedule, so Bitter can make it from Germany and Clutch can make it. Everybody is invited, even Nexy.
I'm for it.
Yeah, dude. What did you say the dates were?
You know what? I'm going to try to do it in a fashion that's the best for everybody, so everybody can make it that wants to come. That's impossible, of course, but I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, dude. Set a date, you know what I mean? Like, just tell people.
It's in the early stages right now. We have to find a bar that is willing to give a percentage of the take to ONOG. But that's fine because, I mean, many of you may know this already by now. Some of you new to the show may not. I actually owned a bar, own a bar in Miami, so I know the business, and really, in this economy, anytime as a bar owner I can get prospective clients I wouldn't normally have,
right?
That's a good thing, right? So, and if they're going to bring 15, 16 of their friends, even better. So, basically, the newest 21-year-old in this group is Newbie. So, Newbie, now that you're a certified drinker, what do you think about the Barcrafts?
I actually went to a lot of Barcrafts, more Barcrafts, when I was not 21 than when I was 21. Considering Philly Barcraft hasn't done one in a while. Yeah, I'm calling you out. And the two that I went to, the one was actually sponsored by Playhem, Cassidy. And that was an awesome time. Met White Raw. I think they're just awesome. Like they're just a great time. Like it was so surreal sitting there at the bar, ordering some non-alcoholic drinks and hanging out with my buddies, watching StarCraft. It was just, I don't know. And like everybody else is getting drunk. It was awesome.
Yeah, you bought White Raw drink, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then I think I had you buy White Raw drink from me and then didn't give you the money in Providence when we met up. Okay.
I didn't really expect you to. I didn't.
Right. Probably should. No. I'll PayPal that to you. Bullshit. So okay. ROI, return on investment for Bar. Talk business behind Barcraft. We just did that. I mean, go ahead.
I mean, you gotta talk about, like, what exactly are they making? Yeah, they get to protect the clients, but there is that percentage that they get that if you're a Barcraft in general, you're gonna get back to ONOG, hopefully. And hopefully this turns into like a repeated thing, right? So not only do you attract the new clients once, but they keep coming back.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And that actually leads into the next point really well with GOM. The next point is GOM TV's uncertain stance on Barcrafts and how they kind of want to ban it or whatever from Barcrafts. I mean, that's just silly. I mean, Grok, we were talking about prospective clients. I mean, people are going to come in and they're going to see StarCraft, and maybe they're a gamer, and maybe they're going to buy StarCraft and watch GSL next season. You know, I mean, I think there's a lot more money to be made than lost. But that's an interesting question. I don't know how this works. Tom, but you'd probably be able to answer it, or anyone else maybe. Is how does like UFC do it, right? Like there's like their pay-per-view stuff. Can a bar just buy a pay-per-view?
UFC's got like 15 million people watching, though, not 50,000.
It doesn't matter, Travis. It's a mother for UFC because my club is on the beach in Miami, and it has what is occupancy is like maybe 150. Okay, so what they used to do is they used to go by occupancy, right? By how many chairs you have. And then there would be a price. If you had X amount through X amount or X amount through X amount, it would be more. So say you had 200 or more. And then there's another club up the street that is like, it's literally a warehouse. It was like a Walmart that they turned into a club.
No chairs.
It's a Walmart that turned into a club. Well, it doesn't matter. It's occupancy, right? So their occupancy is through the roof. But UFC charges a flat rate now, so it doesn't matter if you're there or if you're the little guy, you're paying.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, to what Travis was saying, I don't think it's worthwhile for GOM to do that yet. The numbers aren't there yet. But I think, Barcraft, it brings more people. It'll make more people interested in the game and their service.
But that's right. That's where it's paying off. Is the fact that you can't compare esports to regular sports.
No, you can't. Not yet.
This is a big year. It could all be over. You know what I'm saying? This could be. There's potential. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but
I'm saving my rant for the news segment. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's fine.
Because yeah.
I mean, this could be the last year for esports, so stop comparing it to other stuff. You need to get your ducks in a row and just grow it right now before you worry about charging at bars.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's stupid. It's so stupid that they're even considering that. Let it be plain. Let it be played everywhere at any cost. Whatever, man. Just have it on every TV you possibly can.
Yeah, spread it around. I mean, one of the things we did at our family business, the golf course, we wanted to increase revenue in our food and beverage. So I said, okay, we're going to host poker tournaments every Thursday. So it got up to 70 people, new customers every Thursday, and they played this poker tournament that we had. And it got so popular that basically we had to start capping it at 70. And we brought those people in, and it became part of their regiment, right? It was their thing to do on Thursday. And that's what you need to do with Barcraft. You need to have them regularly, so it's, you know what? StarCraft night, let's go. And it has to be a regular event.
Do the StarCraft kids order the amount of drinks that a regular customer would? I feel...
Probably more.
You think that a group of StarCraft guys who are there to watch Barcraft will drink just as much, if not more?
Yeah. As first-hand experience, yes.
This is an important question.
Okay.
This is an important question. Let me touch on this because I have experience in this as well. Seriously. Now, same situation we had. Golf course, food and beverage. What the big deal on Sundays is what? Football. We're South Florida, but it's a family business. Everybody's from Pittsburgh. So it's a Pittsburgh bar. And there's tons of people that came for the Steelers games every Sunday. Problem being, we always used to say, make sure you load up on iced tea. Because there was free refills on iced tea, and I hate to say it, but it didn't work because they sat there drinking iced tea the whole time, and not ordering any food or any real alcohol. So that's a bit of an issue, right?
Well,
yeah, but if I think that way, if I think that StarCraft players aren't going to drink as much, I couldn't imagine a bar owner disagreeing. You know what I mean? Like, what? How can you convince bar owners that these StarCraft kids, because everyone thinks that these guys are kids, and I'm not trying to be mean, it's just the way it is, aren't going to order drinks?
That's the
if I
that's where One Nation of Gamers comes in, right? Because then they say, look at all these bars who have already done
proven that it's worked.
Point to the precedent and say, it's working for these guys.
Right.
I
mean that was a really good point, Nexy.
That is, it's a valid point.
That's where ONOG comes in, where you take some of these bars whose owners, have some interest already. They start it up, and then if it works, then it spreads.
No, and that's just it, though, too, Nexy, is there's going to be certain situations. This won't work at every bar. There will be certain, geographic areas it won't work in. And
it's not going to work where I live.
You hold a Barcraft in Fargo, North Dakota, and nobody's coming. Like,
it has to be really populated areas. Any major metropolis, metropolitan. Yeah, metropolitan.
You're so racist.
Metalopolis. Any place that will have enough StarCrafters to come in. But yeah, any small town just won't work. So yeah, you have to choose your locations, obviously. But
the two StarCrafts I've been to have been amazing. I'm just.
Well, I mean, anytime you're with, the internet and gaming is generally a very, lonely experience in that you're alone usually at your computer. So, getting together in the physical realm with other people that are interested, MLG, man, oh my god, dude. In Orlando, that was amazing. Hanging out with the Stim TV guys, hanging with, being in a place where, people around me were talking about the same thing that I love and wish I could talk with, normally out and about, dude, that was awesome. It was so much fun. It was so fun. Gronk, I wish you could have been there.
I think a point for Nexy is, you've been to more events than I've even been to. What do you do after the event's over, right? You basically...
I go to my room and go to sleep, bro. What are you talking about?
Anyway...
I work there, dude.
I can actually testify to that. Tumbo, I wouldn't have a drink with you. Where'd Nexy go?
But you're right, dude. It's a place for a lot of social outcasts, a lot of oddballs, and I'm talking about a lot of the console guys, some of the StarCraft guys. They feel welcomed and they feel like they can be they can reinvent their life, right? So I think it's a great outlet for social oddballs to get together and do activities like drinking. I'll be honest, I was intimidated by bars and crowds of people, and then I started going to tournaments and I found my niche and I gained some confidence because I have like-minded people who also felt the same way. So I do think it harbors a really cool atmosphere, and I made it sound kind of bad, but it's not. I'm agreeing.
That's a really good point.
That's with anything. Anytime you're around like-minded people, it's like you can flower in a way. Normally it's you're sitting at the DMV or whatever, any kind of social situation, if you can't talk about what some of the things that you're most passionate about, you're going to kind of be in your shell,
It's funny, I've had some of my best conversations at the DMV. No lie.
Really?
No lie. Yeah, I was talking to a kid, he was 18 there, and I was in Florida to get my ID when I moved down and get my license. And you have to have insurance in Florida or you can't get a license. And it's insane. It's like a 9-hour wait, and then you have an appointment. They still close the door on you, so you get there first thing in the morning, and everyone's tired. And this kid's next to me, and I'm like, "Well, where's your insurance for me?" He's like, "Nah, son, I don't have that. See?" And I'm like, "Well, what happens if you get in an accident?" He goes, "You got to be good with this, son. You got to be good with this, and you got to weave and bob and weave." And I'm like, "Oh." My lord, this is a different country. So yeah, man, I've had some very interesting. And then the guy, well, we're not going to get into that one. But anyway, digressing on to the next point.
See, that was smooth. That was a smooth transition.
We just go.
Drinking and driving. No time. How to find a Barcraft near you? I thought this was really cool, actually. Team Liquid has a new section that actually lists them. So that's very awesome. Have you guys seen that?
No, I haven't.
Are you sympathetic on the shop?
It's right on the big. It's got a big yellow news sign on it, but it's right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm looking at it right now. That's really sick. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm actually proud. It's funny. Montreal had a huge breakout Barcraft. It got a ton of attention. Great video stuff. People just went crazy, and Montrealers are known for their kind of crazy fandom. Like every concert I've ever been to, like, and apparently this is a thing where Montreal is just a crazy city to play a show in, or for any sports team to play in or whatever. And I was like, fuck, that's cool. It translated into StarCraft too, because like the fans just went nuts. But it just so happened like I ended up going to that MLG, but I was like, fuck, I wanted to be at that Barcraft too. It looks so good.
Nah.
Well, you have to, you also have to understand with like Montreal is that there's so many like just gamers up there in general.
Yeah.
Like LAN ETS is pretty much what Counter-Strike Source banked on in like the wintertime as like the one major event that North America could go to.
We have a lot of internet cafes here.
A lot of gamers, man.
And a lot of gamers,
Montreal's a good area. Those French
Canadians.
Canadians.
I remember when I tried to find a physical World of Warcraft, I think it was Burning Crusade. Back when I played WoW, like you couldn't do it. Like I had to travel like an hour and a half outside of the city to find a Best Buy to get a copy. Like they were all like it's crazy. It is a very big gamer city here.
Yeah, I'm just happy that they're finally bringing one near me. There's going to be a Barcraft in Atlanta soon. I don't know exactly when, but
one in
there,
New York,
I will be there.
But I'm not taking an hour and a half train and then a cab to go to Legends for a couple hours. And it's a bit of a haul for me.
You're killing esports, Travis.
I'm not killing esports. I've been doing this too long.
Esports is killing you.
Yeah, I think it's killing. That's a better analogy. So you know what? I think, I always thought to myself, would it be worth opening a bar dedicated to just, StarCraft, the Star Bar, whatever you want to call it, and it wouldn't work.
Star Bar?
It doesn't matter, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is. It doesn't make a difference. The point is, would it work with... because another thing that we tried and failed at the club, at the golf course, one of the only things that didn't work for food and beverage was we put in a video game room. And we had 2 consoles hooked up to 2 separate TVs, and they would work independently or together. So we had a switch on them, and we probably spent $2,500 getting it all set up. And then that's not even counting the TVs and everything. And we played Gears of War when it came out. That was right when Gears came out first. So people were looking at this, but we thought that we could market it to
I've seen that movie. That's
kids and stuff like that wanted to have a birthday party, whatever it is, what have you. If it was raining, because a lot of the golfers are actually the younger golfers are gamers, but it was just the regular guys. It wasn't bringing anybody in new. It was basically this. So it's a tight rope to walk, I think, with the Barcrafts. I don't think you could open an esports bar, if you will, yet.
I mean, there are a couple. I know there's one in Cali. I don't know if anybody here knows Riku. She's like this. I don't know. If you read blogs on TL, you know who she is.
She's nuts.
Yeah, she is.
I'm kidding. She's nice. I've only met her once.
But anyway, so she's mentioned this like, it's not an esports bar, but it's it's a nerd bar. There's a couple nerd bars around the country, but
look at Barcade in Brooklyn. They just opened their second location in Jersey City. It's a bar, but it's all old classic games, so it's a little different.
They have one in Philly.
But they're successful. There you go.
Nothing would make me happier than if that would work, because that's pretty amazing.
There's got to be.
I think you're on the right track right now with the weekly meetups. I used to do a weekly Street Fighter meetup in Manhattan, and we used to go down to this bar, and there was tons of people. But to have a bar specifically themed around video games will work. But I think StarCraft right now is a little too... I'm at home playing. I'm not trying to go to the bar every night and spend my money.
Yeah,
I think it has to be combined with like a gaming center, like a LAN center. Like I think because you're attracting people there to play the game, right? In a group, like if I had a place like 5 minutes away from me that I could go and actually like play StarCraft with other people and talk with them, whatever, I would totally go there instead of playing on my own computer. And then I would sit around and have a drink and watch a tournament with people after. That would be killer. But to support just a bar, like you walk into a bar and watch it on the TV, I don't know if it's quite there yet. Unless you're in like a super dense populated area like New York City maybe, that might have enough people close enough to support it. But any other city, I honestly don't see it happening. It's just too spread out.
With every Barcraft, we're being proven wrong. So
that's true. That's a good point.
And you know what? Awesome. I hope so.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur myself, I would love nothing more than to have something new and exciting like that open. To be able to open an esports bar, I think would be it'd be amazing if it could happen.
And you could find a lot of play on words to name that bar. That'd be the most fun part, dude.
Yeah. Change the name like every month, so you get bored of it and you find another good one.
Well, a lot of bars do change every month anyway.
Yeah.
There's bars and pizzerias currently flipping owners. Okay, so what drink goes best with SE2? And here's the deal: since we have so many of these, pick your own, state it.
Strawberry daiquiri, fuck y'all.
All right, and I'm glad you said it because I know you were serious.
You and me both, man. I know you like your strawberry daiquiris, dude.
You gotta say that out loud now.
So topical. Oh god.
You gotta say it.
Tumba, I
it.
think.
I can't read chat, dude. I can't read chat, you bastards.
Travis, you gotta say it out loud.
Dude,
I'm not saying anything.
Dude, say it. I can't look at chat. All right.
I'm not
You
saying
know what?
anything.
I'll say it.
Oh wait, no, I got an idea. Just copy and paste it in the chat, and that way only the people who watch it live get a little extra bonus.
All right. There you go.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, so.
Dude, I can't say that. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? Why can't you say that? Dude,
I'm going to say that right now.
Call it Stephano's place and fill it with blankets and mattresses. Dude, you could play that Incubus song, Aqueous Transmission, like just on repeat. If anyone knows that song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I think that just went over everyone's head. But anyway, yes, no, that'd be great. I would go to that bar. Fucking sleep. I fall asleep to StarCraft like every night anyway.
But Tom, I think.
Oh, that's great.
Oh. No, I guess. All right, best drinks. So, Nexy, what's your favorite drink to watch StarCraft with?
I'm a beer drinker. I'm not a big fan of liquor, but if I had to choose a liquor,
you don't have to choose a liquor. What's your favorite beer to drink?
I'll do like a Hofbrau or maybe a Yingling or something like that.
Yingling, baby. PA, represent. Yingling's awesome. Great lager. That's a lager there, buddy. Colin, a.k.a. Newbie McNoob. What was your answer, though? I didn't get it.
Okay, so I said, well, I was going to actually take us off the track real quick because I posted a link to a video game themed bar in Australia that does extremely well for itself.
Oh, they got a lot of coverage, dude, over the last few
Duckville,
years.
guarantee he knows it.
And it's so I just wanted to say that a video game themed bar is not out of the question that does StarCraft events, but making it solely StarCraft or solely esports might be.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's too niche. Everything
like
right
it's
now.
a little
Everything
niche.
right now is
Exactly,
still
Travis.
I think you want to get a lot of the new releases and that sort of stuff to get people to come.
But that's a
Anyway.
majority of everything that.
Okay, so what's your favorite drink, Noob?
I have not tried this, but I've always wanted to. It's called Vespian Gas, and it's a mixed drink that sounds delicious. It's 1 part citrus vodka, 1 part Bowls green apple, and 1 splash of Midori, 2 parts club soda.
You should probably add some Dr. Pepper to that. I bet it would make it better.
While wearing the Astro.
All right, no, hey, while we're on the subject of Dr. Pepper. While we're on the subject of Dr. Pepper, that's actually my favorite drink. Is just a Kahlua and Dr. Pepper. You're not going to find it anywhere, but
What?
literally.
Kahlua and Dr. Pepper?
Listen, shut up and listen. I was at the beach. I was at the beach with some buddies, and we completely ran out of alcohol for the weekend. We had like another day left. All we had left was a bottle of Kahlua. We had nothing else to drink except for Kahlua and Dr. Pepper, and we just put them together. Shut up and listen. You put Kahlua in the bottom and pour the Dr. Pepper from really high up, so you get a lot of foam, and that is the best tasting foam you will ever have. I swear to God, it is so good.
I mean, I like both of them separately. I mean, they sound like they could work, I guess.
My first favorite drink ever before we moved to beer, Kahlua and milk, bro. White Russians.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have vodka in that, or it's not a White Russian.
Oh yeah, true. I'm forgetting an element.
But I mean, yeah, White Russians are my favorite drink of all time. But this is my favorite StarCraft drink because
Is it like a root beer float kind of thing that you're going for?
No, dude, that's whipped cream vodka and root beer. would be root beer float.
Yes, so I do.
That's my favorite drink. I'm not afraid to admit it, son.
Yo, try the vanilla vodka and root beer, which
that's
is my
the one.
favorite
I'm sorry,
drink.
no.
Yeah.
That's my favorite drink.
Yep.
That's
vanilla vodka and orange soda makes cream.
Yes,
Cool.
that is really good.
You want a girl's panties to fall?
Strike
Make
that
her
from the record. I'm
sensitive.
incorrect. I misquoted myself. I used to drink the vanilla vodka and orange, but no. Whipped cream vodka and orange is even more cream.
You gotta chill it though.
Nicole! Let's go
Exactly.
for
Get
liquor
Nicole
store.
on it. Send her out.
What's the shot that when you mix them? I think it's amaretto, and then you drop a shot glass of beer into it. Or no, it's a glass of beer, and then you drop a shot glass of amaretto into it.
Stop right there.
think.
Jesus Christ.
Just
And then
Are you kidding me, Simpatico?
Is that-
Boilermaker? Well, first of all, Irish
yeah, is that a
coffee-
Boilermaker? Dude, I don't
hold it.
drink.
I don't want to offend anybody in Ireland, but there's rumor
I'm
you guys
so
like
disappointed.
drinking there. Anyway, Irish Car Bomb is you get like 3/4 of a glass of Guinness.
Yep.
Which Clutch drank, by the way, for a social experiment the other day. Because for those of you that don't know MLG, Clutch doesn't drink. He doesn't drink at all.
Guinness isn't a beer; it's a meal.
I'm the same way, but for different.
So it's no. He does not. No, Simpatico. Simpatico, we've had drinks at the Hard Rock
He's so
Casino.
rare though. Like
Clutch
I
was
never
there,
drink.
not drinking.
So
That's true.
rare.
Okay, good point. All right.
You don't
I'll
drink
take
when
it.
you were drinking with Clutch there. And me. Anyway, pounding by the way. So 3/4 of a glass of Guinness. And then what you do is you get Bailey's Irish Cream, and you top it with Jameson, and you drop that into the Guinness, and it coagulates. Now, you've got to drink it quick, and it tastes like, ironically, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good. And the problem is, it looks disgusting, but you get a big crowd around you when you do it. So naturally, when Tumba turned 21, what's all I wanted to drink?
Irish Car Bombs.
Star Bombs. I threw up in the driveway more often than not, but it was worth it, man. It always is when you do Irish Car Bombs. Actually, what's the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot? Yeah, do one after you do all those. That's Lily's bright idea. That was a great idea. I wanted to saw my head off at about 12:30 at night. I just wanted to cut it off. Anyway, so yeah, my favorite drink would be Guinness, period, because it's great.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
Guinness. Is good.
Guinness and StarCraft for me, and maybe a couple slices of pizza. Whoo, buddy!
Well,
It doesn't get much better than that, I'll tell you.
anything that takes a little longer to drink so you can avoid conversation with all the StarCraft nerds, that's my... No, I'm kidding.
You're my fat yellow Air Max. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, dude. Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Does anybody else have one? Or
Travis?
Heineken or Grolsch. I'll take.
Respectable. Somebody put the duck fart in here.
I don't know.
Brown,
Yeah, it was.
Bailey's.
That wasn't me, not Pink. I don't.
It wasn't me.
I have no idea. So we've got a new segment here.
Yeah, that's probably raging.
Before we roll into the fuck section. The new segment is personal issues. This could take third grade for me.
I've got this bleeding.
Got a laugh.
Well, my hands are still a little dirty from when I didn't wash.
Yeah.
Nexies are clean, man. We know.
I watched them.
We watched him.
No, all right. So
Personal,
No,
I
shout-
actually missed this in the show notes.
No shout outs.
yeah, personal issues is really just if there's something that you just want to be like, look, this is something that I thought was interesting. We don't have to have a huge discussion about it, but it's just food for thought, I guess.
All right. Let's do it.
You want to start us off?
Let's get into
All
this
right.
bad boy.
So Destiny, being the awesome guy that he is, changing streaming for the better forever. It changed the scope. Head streaming.
I don't know.
What is this? What is this? Do you know what helmet cams are?
Yeah.
Do you know what helmet cams are?
Yeah.
Better than helmet cams.
Oh my
because
God.
It's Destiny, and he's doing it at the keyboard. Anyway, so I saw this video. I thought it was hilarious.
Post that shit in chat.
It's
I'm
basically
trying.
Destiny puts a camera on his head and then plays StarCraft.
Yeah. So it's literally just the screen.
That's exactly
in
what it sounds
terrible
like.
resolution, and he's sitting there like.
And sometimes he'll look down.
Now, what would have made that interesting to everyone, I think, is that if he pulled a Nexy and went into the bathroom, that would have made it cool and novel, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it was hilarious. Probably not worth a full discussion, though.
No.
I don't know if you saw the same video as me, but by the end of the video, his hair's blocking it.
Yeah, the hair's...
Which is pretty fucking funny.
Hey, it's reality, man. It's reality. Hair's a reality. This is down and dirty, gritty, no production. I like it.
Moving on. Congrats to Jeff and Anna from all of us at Stim. And Nexy as well.
Yeah.
It's
only a little bit, man. Only a little bit for me.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding. I don't know you guys.
I mean, that's nice to see. I mean, you know, even people who don't even like In Control as a player are just like, that's nice.
It is nice. And I think In Control actually holds a special heart, or a piece of Stim TV's heart, because he was, I think, one of our first show matches that got a lot of viewers. Like, I think it was over 10,000 viewers. He came on the Stimcast after the show match.
After losing
the show match. That was a big thing,
You know what,
right?
Stephano? Take fucking notes.
Booyah,
like,
there you
that's
go.
how you expand esports. You lose a show match after getting trolled on Reddit, but you're still so professional that you show up as an ambassador to a small organization like us. It meant the
world.
I don't even think we can articulate what it meant to us, right, Simpatico?
It was huge, like, because we hadn't really interacted with many pro gamers at that point, if any really at all, on a deeper level than, do you want to play this show match, and like kind of being nervous about messaging them, and then here he comes and he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Hops on. He's, I felt like State of the Game, almost. You know what I mean? Where you have that like I've literally fallen asleep. Like I'll listen to State of the Game on my BlackBerry or my iPhone or whatever, and I'll fall asleep to it so many nights, right? And to then hear his voice in my actually headphones, like through Skype as opposed to on a podcast. And that meant the world, man. So for him to take the time to do that was awesome. So the biggest congratulations from Stim TV. So much love to those guys.
For sure, absolutely. Before we beat a dead horse out of that, all I do have to say, Anna's a pretty. Everyone said he's a lucky guy. Anna's a pretty lucky girl too. He's a pretty good guy. So. All right, take a quick break from SE2. Sean White, gold medal, 5-peat, and Winter X Games. Super Pipe, perfect 100, raging. I don't have to get into the next part. What do you guys think about it?
I mean, cool. I don't watch snowboard.
Yeah, I don't watch snowboarding, but what he did on that half pipe is what I do in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So I'm going to say that's impressive.
That's the best.
Oh wow,
I
he
think
did a
anybody could
special
ever
into
done.
a special. Oh no, but
he pulled out a boombox somewhere and
he's got to have that cheat. It's like up, left, down.
Infinite special. He can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. No, but I watched it at work and I was sitting there with my jaw on the floor. I was like, what is he doing?
More impressive front flip on a snowmobile. Makes no sense.
I just watched that
today.
That. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That's that's stupid.
Like, it shouldn't make sense because all the weight in the engine and the tracks and everything's in the back, right? So it's really isn't how did.
It's 4,000 pounds. Let me wing it over my head and I'll just land.
I don't understand how he made it go frontwards though. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
MBD, bro.
Well, you know what, Sean White.
It was the massive weight of his balls, man.
That guy, yeah.
I was trying to come up with a big cock joke, but it didn't come to me in time.
That guy is he's a true prodigy. There's no doubt.
I got 2 cents on this one, and I might be retarded and wrong. When I look at Sean White, not only is he an incredible athlete, he's one of the first dudes who's crazy marketed, right? Marketable dude who's also a redhead, goofy-looking dude. I thought that was really impressive about him. Is he didn't give up his image. He didn't cut his hair. He didn't give a fuck, dude. He just rocked that shit out, and look at him now, dude. That's pretty crazy.
Let me tell you about Sean White, because now I am going to touch on it. Let me tell you about Sean White's early career, because I have some experience here as well. I rode professionally for a couple years, and I coached professionally for a couple years. So, Telluride for nationals, I go out and we see Sean White for the first time, and I'm like, Coach. My coach was actually Ross Hinman, and I said, look at this kid, and he's like, that kid is going to destroy everybody. And he's like, that's Sean White. And I'm like, who? I mean, at the time I think I'm 17, 18. He's probably 8 or 9. But you say about his image, right, Nexy? Mm-hmm. Nobody knew what Sean White looked like. And you can somehow validate this, I'm sure, if you Google it. But nobody knew because he always wore a black helmet, a black fleece around his face, and black Oakley sunglasses, or
Which is
rather,
dope, dude.
right?
That's,
And so he was all blacked out, and he never took them off. When he got up on the podium to accept first place, he would get up there with the gear on, so nobody knew what Shaun White looked like on the mountain. They knew from skateboarding because he also skateboarded, but the kid also wakeboarded. You give the kid anything with a board, and the guy is amazing. He's absolutely amazing, and I'm still trying to figure out how. I'm not sure how much money he's worth.
It's Carrot Top's younger brother, man.
It's
Damn.
a lot. I don't think Carrot Top can pull off what he does.
I don't think so.
I feel like professional athletes that are on TV, the Kobe Bryants, the Jordans, right? All good looking, like, you know, they have a physique, they have this image, and that's how you attract big sponsors. Not only are you the best, but you have to, I don't know, like, right? Maybe I'm generalizing.
Well, it's,
no, that's
you're right on that. It's relatable, right? So a kid that snowboards, you're gonna expect to have shaggy hair, wear skinny jeans, you know, like it's the same thing with skateboarding. Like you're gonna expect them to, you know, have beat up clothes, like.
Well, let me hold it. Skinny jeans, no. I'm not going to associate snowboards and skinny jeans.
Well, no, I'm saying like that Shaun White's look.
He plays into the image that
Shaun White. That, but like he's got to go. You can have skinny jeans just don't work. Period. On men,
there's the reason why Kareem Campbell in skateboarding and Tony Hawk, like,
yep.
Whatever. As long as there's no skinny jeans. When skinny jeans get to StarCraft, that could be devastating. I don't even want to talk skinny jeans. They just skinny jeans need to disappear. I'm sorry. They got to go. They got to go. So that's it for the personal issue segment. In case anybody would like to add something completely unrelated to SE2 that's happened in your life.
Travis?
No, mine was all related to esports, and now I'm just salty as fuck.
I got one quick personal issue.
This
I think this segment should go away. That's my personal issue.
Well, you know what?
Well, I think it should stay.
Grok, there you go. Boom, son. Grok. Like I said, you know, we had over 100,000 downloads last season with 10 episodes. So
I know my shit, yo.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with our producer.
Oh, I'm just joking, bro.
No.
Next, you'll be laughing.
But I know,
we'll have the last
Travis
laugh when we have fucking Oprah on for it next week. We get all personal and everyone's crying.
You get in control in the show. Now you get me, bro. You're moving up in the world.
Well, hang on. Who's the guy that you just met, Tumba, that we're gonna have on?
Yeah, who's on next week?
You can't just walk into Hodor.
Right. No. Well, we don't know, but hopefully we can get. I'm in Christian's guild in SWOTOR. Awesome guy. He was like tweeting, "Hey, I'm recruiting for my guild," and I'm like, "Oh man, I wish there were character transfers." And then somebody else said, "Well, you know what? Just start a new character." So I did that, and super nice guy. Retweeted, made sure that I made it into the guild. So he's into podcasting and music and all kind of other stuff. Very multifaceted, multi-talented person, artist. So hopefully
he does mean Hodor from Game of Thrones, by the way.
Yes, Hodor from.
No, dude, that show raves.
Yes, he's quite awesome person. And I say this just from the brief interaction we've had on Twitter. So hopefully we'd be able to get him on the show. Sundance as well has committed to come on the show, whether he remembers or not. I don't care. If I have to fly to New York, it doesn't bother me. I'll fly to New York because I'm going to have him on the show simply because I have a bet with Bitter that he will remember. So Sundance will be on the show. Of course, we're going to have MLG Clutch, Wigan, Galen also. We'll have all those guys on the show this year.
Great guy. Galen's great.
Yeah, man. Galen's super smart. Russell Clark also is a writer, screenwriter, and good friends with Christian, who plays Hodor. We'll obviously try to get him on the show as well. But it's cool to see that I never knew Hodor was actually a gamer. So Christian is a gamer. He was big into WoW. And also now playing, as I said, Star Wars, The Old Republic. He podcasts. He has a podcast. He's a DJ and a musician. So very awesome. And I'm going to try to get him to an MLG event, actually. He had told me that he will be in L.A. In early March, so that's not going to help us at all. But if he was closer to the East Coast, maybe, but no. So we are gonna try to get him on the show for sure. Game of Thrones, super awesome sauce. If you haven't watched it, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's really the only reason to keep HBO at this point, I think.
I tuned out about 6 minutes ago. Can we talk about beards and TLO?
Absolutely, man.
Because I want to do some live production here on the fly.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to rapid fire then.
I love TLO's new beard.
Okay, hang on. I'm doing live production. Okay, here we go. All right, we have TLO. We got Dat Beard. I took this screenshot all by myself. I did that. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Now we're gonna do a comparison here, and for those of you probably have to watch the stream to see this. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a comparison with.
Awesome.
Oh my god!
All right, so on the left we have everyone's favorite Terran / Zerg / Protoss player, Mr. TLO, and then we have our very own Stim TV's Varapsack. He's been with Stim TV for a long time, and I think we have to have a bit of a beard off here. I don't know.
Varapsack wins.
Yeah, did I?
By the way, hold on. No. Hold it. So Bitter liked when I said Sloverlord during the cast, and he's like,
I heard that.
I'm gonna steal that.
That's sick, dude. That's sick.
Actually, the originator of Sloverlord is Varapsack. So there, if you can see, that is he's a caster for ASCW back in the day, and he came up with that, and also Speed Lord. But yeah, man, his beard wins for sure.
Yeah,